online together to learn more about the Kaliningrad region, one of the most unusual parts of Russia, separated from the major Russian territory by the length of few European countries. This region is one of perfect place to do business, travel, and trade, given its close proximity to the center of Europe. It also has a strong own industrial profile and versatile mineral resources, including 90% of world amber reserves. This session is organized by the initiative and with sponsorship of the Government of Kaliningrad Region and supported by the Trade Mission of the Russian Federation. Before passing the stage to our speakers and guests, I would like to make sure that everyone is aware of technical side of this webinar. Please notice that all participants are muted to avoid any background noise during the presentation. As indicated at the distributed event information, we included in the program the Q&A session, question and answer session. All questions from the participants will be received by the event moderator, Mr. Valery Maximov, in written form. He will then pass them on to the relevant speakers. To submit your question, please click Q&A at the bottom of your screen. And when you see the field open, type your question there. You can try to practice this right away and let us know if there are any problems. Given the time restrictions and depending on the number of questions, we may run in the situation when some of the questions will not be responded immediately. If this is happening to someone, we will reconnect with you and we'll feedback later on your questions. Now I would like to kick off the session and start it with the introduction of our moderator, the head of the Russian Trade Mission to Canada, Mr. Valery Maximov. Many of you know Mr. Maximov quite well. He's a great supporter of Canada-Russia business dialogue, assisting our organization and its member in safe and successful business development in that part of the world. Valery is originally from one of the largest regions of Russia, the Republic of Sakha-Yakutia, where he fulfilled a number of high-level ministerial positions at the local government, including Ministry of Industry, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and Ministry of Economy. His last position before Canada was the advisor to the head of the Republic of Sakha-Yakutia. I now invite Mr. Maximov to our virtual stage.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction, Tatiana. Good evening, Russia, and good morning, Canada. Dear friends and colleagues, I'm delighted to introduce you to Kaliningradskaya Oblast, the unique and most western part of Russia. The region has been pioneering in Russia as a special economic zone from the mid-90s of the 20th century. Over the past 2 decades, hundreds of Russian and foreign companies have enjoyed the region's unique geographic placement and tax incentives. Today, this is the most prominent and I think most economically developed region of the Russian Federation, which can offer, along with outstanding tax incentives, the shortest link to the Chinese market for Canadian companies. So let's listen to the speakers from the region. First, I'm glad to welcome Denis Sali, acting head of representative office of the Kaliningrad region in Moscow, with the welcoming remarks. Please, Denis, the floor is yours.
Valery, thank you very much, and good morning, Canada. Уважаемые коллеги, друзья и партнеры Янтарного края, наша область, самая западная область России, и ее география и деловой климат создают уникальные преимущества. Этим уже воспользовались сотни российских и десятки иностранных компаний. Предлагаем вам присоединиться к этой успешной калининградской команде. Напомню, что в России Калининградская область стала первопроходцем в создании особых экономических зон. Первые преференции АЭС разработали на нашей территории еще в 1996 году.
Dear colleagues, friends and partners of the Amber region, Our region is the westernmost region in Russia, but its geography and business climate create unique advantages. Hundreds of Russian and dozens of foreign entrepreneurs have already taken advantage of this. We invite you to join this successful Kaliningrad team. Let me remind you that in the Russian Federation, the Kaliningrad region became a pioneer in creating a special economic zone. The first special economic zone have been launched on our territory in 1996.
Теперь наш опыт используют другие регионы России, а мы идем дальше. Вперед, расширяем перечень льгот и преференций для наших предприятий, запускаем инструменты поддержки и гарантирования неизменности условий бизнеса. Создаем новые индустриальные площадки и технопарки. Мы хорошо понимаем бизнес, очень чувствителен к экономическим и политическим изменениям. Поэтому мы стараемся разрабатывать долгосрочные меры поддержки, которые будут гарантировать уверенность и стабильность.
Now our experience is used by other Russian regions, and we go further, forward, expanding the list of benefits for enterprises, launching subsidizing and compensation tools, creating industrial parks. We well understand that business is very sensitive to economic and political changes. Therefore, we try to develop long-term support measures that will guarantee you confidence and stability.
Мы будем рады, если и канадские компании зайдут на российский рынок именно через Калининградскую область, так называемые российские ворота к европейским и азиатским рынкам. В свою очередь гарантируем стабильность, поддержку и помощь. Нам важен каждый инвестор. Давайте добьемся успеха вместе. Инвестируйте в Калининградскую область. Welcome to Kaliningrad region.
We will be glad if Canadian companies will enter Russian market through the Kaliningrad region, the so-called Russian gate to European and Asian markets. From our side, we guarantee the stability, help, and support. Every investor is important to us. Let's succeed together, and please feel safe to invest in the Kaliningrad region.
Thank you very much, Denis. Now we have a short video presentation from Kaliningrad Oblast. Please, Tatiana.
Kaliningrad region is the most western region in the Russian Federation. It is located on the southeastern coast of the Baltic Sea and shares land borders with several countries of European Union. It will take 4 hours to get to Vilnius from Kaliningrad and 8 hours to get to Berlin by car. The population of Kaliningrad region is over 1 million people. The population increases by 1% annually. There are 13 institutes providing high professional education in the region. Kaliningrad institutes graduate more than 4,000 specialists per year. There are over 2,000 objects of cultural heritage on the territory of the region. It's appeared to be a place where different epochs meet, historical architecture and modern urbanistic design. Thanks to its unique natural landscape and mild Baltic climate, Kaliningrad region tends to be one of the most popular resorts in Russia. Kaliningrad is well known as the capital of Russian surfing. There has been established a new simplified visa regime under which citizens of 53 countries can get e-visa free of charge easily by filling an application online. Nowadays, Kaliningrad region has become a meeting point of Russian and foreign business. You can find here world-class travel services and venues for various events, from business forums to major international festivals and sports competitions. Fast-growing Yantania gambling zones allow gambling fans from Russia and other countries to spend time there. Kaliningrad region today is the center of business activities aimed for Russian and European cooperation. Due to a dynamically developing economy, more and more companies opt for Kaliningrad region and are interested now in implementation of investment projects. The annual foreign trade turnover is over $10 billion, and the volume of investments in fixed assets of companies over the past year amounted to over 130 billion rubles. The most promising areas of economy in Kaliningrad region are considered to be microelectronics, IT, and agriculture. The following large companies are already successfully implementing their investment projects in the region. Aftertour is the car manufacturer producing more than 200,000 vehicles per year. Zodruzhestvo Group of Companies is one of the biggest private investors in the agriculture sector of Russian economy. Kaliningrad Amber Factory is the only plant in Russia mining amber on a commercial scale. Infamed is the modern pharmacological factory producing well-known antiseptic medicine. Shipyard Yantar is a large company and member of the United Shipbuilding Corporation, USC. Technological Hub Technopolis GS is a national leading company in the field of innovations, and many others. Kaliningrad region is a special economic zone and its regime applies to the entire territory of the region. A special regime regulates minimal fiscal burden for its residents, and for them the rate of insurance contribution from the wage fund can be reduced up to 7.6%. It also has provided profit and property tax exemption during the first 6 years of project implementation. From the 7th till the 12th year profit tax rate will be estimated as 10%, while the property tax rate will be equal to 1.1%. The exemption period for profit tax becomes effective from the first profit received, but not later than within the first 3 years from the start of the project. Therefore, the exemption period can last up to 15 years, and there is also no land tax during the first 5 years for special economic zone residents. Federal legislation approved guarantees of invariable business conditions for residents of the special economic zone of the Kaliningrad region. Minimum threshold of investments for the residents of Special Economic Zone of IT industry is 1 million rubles within 3 years. The unique conditions of free customs zone favorably expand the range of opportunities for implementation of investment projects. For investors of the Kaliningrad region, there is zero customs duty of the import of goods, raw materials, and components into the region. The import VAT has been cancelled and a 180-day deferral of its payments is valid for the export of imported goods to the main territory of Russia. For the projects related to deep processing of imported raw materials, there can be applied a cost compensation mechanism. In order to provide a comfortable business environment for attracting capital from foreign jurisdictions, a special administrative district has been created in the Kaliningrad region. A special order for business processes was introduced on Oktyabrski Island. It guarantees flexible tax and currency regulation regime for international companies. Launch the production. Land plots are offered in industrial parks equipped with all the necessary infrastructure. Krabrovo Industrial Park is the westernmost industrial site in Russia and is best suited for export-oriented industries. Chernyakovsk Industrial Park is the largest industrial site of the Kaliningrad region, designed to accommodate large logistics, transport, and production projects. The Kaliningrad region has a well-developed transport infrastructure that combines roads, railways, waterways, and airways. The main feature of the Kaliningrad Railway is the fact that it combines 2 different types of track gauges. This makes the region one of the transit hubs between East and West. Transit time from Kaliningrad to Chongqing is 8 days. Road infrastructure of the region is 9,092.1 kilometers of modern roadbed. The density of the road is 600,000 square kilometers. 2 branches of Trans-European Transport Network with 16 operating checkpoints pass through the territory of the region. Air transportation is carried out through the modern terminal of Krabrovo International Airport. The geography of flights is expanding annually. Passenger service capacity is over 3.5 million people per year, and the volume of cargo turnover up to 50 tons per day. The port infrastructure of the Kaliningrad region allows carrying out trade operations all over the world. There is a railway ferry complex in Baltijsk. Its designed capacity is 5.3 million tons of cargo per year. Over the last 2 decades, the region's unique geographical and tax advantages have already been enjoyed by hundreds of Russian and dozens of foreign entrepreneurs. Government instruments for subsidizing investment projects are constantly being improved, thus creating conditions for sustainable economic development. Feel the business climate of the Baltic coast.
Thank you. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Svetlana. We have a question to you from Vladimir Bolshakov, Geometric Company. What are the shipping options from Kaliningrad to Canada? Are there direct lines from Kaliningrad port to any port in Canada without cross-docking in other countries?
I think it's a question to Alexander, so I think that he will answer after the webinar, because I'm not really able to answer right now. But if you will put all your question in questions, so we will answer everything afterwards.
Okay, thank you very much.
So here, my name is Bokareva Svetlana. I'm work in the representative office of the Kaliningrad region. I am advisor of the head, so I welcome all of you. And I would like to present my region and present its investment potential to you. So new opportunities for business development in Kaliningrad region. Being so small, but Kaliningrad region, despite that, has all kinds of jurisdictions which you can find in Russia. Here we have special economic zone, free customs zone. We have a special administrative region, which is so-called Russian offshore. Also, we have so-called town of single industry. And also even gambling zone we have here. So if you can find all kinds of jurisdiction here in Kaliningrad region. So let's start from very beginning, from the special economic zone. Now in 2020, in our special economic zone, we have more than 250 residents. We should say that CES region covers the whole region of the Kaliningrad. So if you would like to localize your business wherever you want, in any city, in any place of Kaliningrad region, so you will be covered by this regime. The regime is regulated by regional authorities and regulated by federal law number 16. And it says that this special regime will be effective until 2045. By 2020, you can see that the total amount of declared investment in the Kaliningrad region by now is around 1.7 billion USD dollars. It's a great amount for such a small territory. What kind of benefits will you have if you will enter if you will decide to localize your business here? You will have 0% of income tax and 0% of property tax first 6 years. And this will be effective as from the first profit received, but not later than 3 years from the date of obtaining the resident status. After the first 6 years, your income tax will increase and will be 10%, and your property tax will be 1.1%. Also, we have 0% for land tax and recycling fee, and the social contribution tax is 7.6%, which is, let's say, 4 times less than on the whole other territory of Russian Federation, because it's around 32% for the other territory of Russian Federation. Also, our government has reduced the terms of state expertise. So you can get your, for example, environmental expertise for 45 days and project documentation expertise for 45 days as well. We have only one, let's say, rule how to become the resident. You need to invest. So the amount of your investment depends on the industry in which you are interested in. If you are interested in development of software, information technology, research and development, so you need just, let's say, 15,000 USD dollars. You need to invest this money within 3 years in your fixed assets. Easily, you can buy computers or you can rent your property. So any investments, wherever you're going to do in your fixed assets. If you are doing any business connecting with the health services, you need to invest 150,000 USD dollars. So for production, manufacturing, fishery, fish farming, agricultural, and tourism and recreational activities, you need to invest a bit more, $750,000. And for any other industries, you need to invest $2.3 million. As I said, you need to invest this money within 3 years from obtaining the CES resident status. So this is not just in one moment, but you can, let's say, invest partially in first year, then second, then the third year. So not just in one time. To get the residency is quite easy. You just need to apply your document. You need to submit your document and wait for the a decision on your document just within 30 days. So 30 days is time limit for acquiring residential status. On the territory of our region, we have big companies such as ABB company, who has opened its engineering center for 200 engineers. We have a hip German company, which opened their production of baby food and has invested around 50 million euros. Also, we have such big companies which actually presented, some of them presented on this webinar. It's Aftertour, Bars. Aftertour is the biggest assembly company. So all the BMW cars, Kia Motors, Hyundai cars have been assembled in Kaliningrad region. Honestly, it's every 10th car has been assembled in Kaliningrad region. Every 10th car in the Russian Federation. Can you imagine that? So it's I think it's a great success. Despite that, we also have free customs zone. What does it mean? Free customs zone for all the residents. So if you need some goods from other countries, from let's say all of the world, and you are going to import goods, components, raw materials, your duty free will be 0 and your import VAT will be 0 as well. If you're going to consume it, to store it, or sort it. If you're going to process that and then re-export, let's say, so we have some other benefits for you as well. First of that is that you have grace period of payment to the customs VAT. It's 180 days. And the second one is cost compensation. Let's say in 1920, we have around 57 billion rubles compensation, which was done for companies asking for that compensation. So it's a great benefit, I think, for every business. We have on the territory of the Kaliningrad region also special administrative district. What is that? What kind of jurisdiction? I think it's easy to say that it's Russian offshore. So I think it's easy to understand what kind of jurisdiction is it. On the 3rd of August 2018, Russian President Vladimir Putin has signed a package of laws on establishing the special administrative districts with special conditions for business development of foreign companies. So for foreign companies who are going to register on this territory, there will be some preferences, like 0% of tax of dividend income, 0% tax on income upon the sales of shares of foreign companies, and 5% tax on dividend income upon the shares of international holding companies. We think that's quite prospective jurisdiction, and by now there are 30 companies who have registered there on this jurisdiction. And I believe there will be much more. And we have such jurisdiction in the Kaliningrad region, and the only other jurisdiction in Vladivostok. So it's just 2 such kind of jurisdiction on the whole territory of Russia. So it's quite unique. As I said before, we also have gambling zones. So if you're, for example, tourists and you would like to have some fun to spend some time there. So we have such kind of leisure for you. It's a great territory of 100 hectares, and this is one of the investment projects, by the way. But the gambling zone by itself is operating by now. So if you're going to visit Kaliningrad region now, you can easily use it and you can easily play there. So why Kaliningrad region? Why you should enter and why you should localize your business? First of all, because it's the territory which is close to Europe, and the territory which is close to Russia as well. And for example, if your market is European one, and for you will be much more cheaper to localize your business on our territory because of the payments, because of the preferences and benefits, and you can easily export your products to the territory of European Union, for example. We have minimal fiscal burden, or we have growing population, so we have, let's say, migration balance, like every year the population is growing by 1%. We have proactive investment policy, and we have guarantees from our government of the immutability of the business condition and stuff like that. Most perspective industries for us and for you to develop in the region is IT cluster, medical and pharmaceuticals, fishery and fish processing, it's tourism, agricultural and food supply, shipbuilding and ship repair, common manufacturing and machine building, and also it's amber jewelry manufacturing, as we have the biggest plant of amber producing. Going further, I would like to ask my colleague Alexander Sharashev to tell you some words about the logistic potential of our region, because I think it's one of the benefits of our regions, being the territory of Russian Federation on the one hand, and being exclaved and located in the middle, let's say in the middle of Europe. So Alexander, if yes, so you can please continue.
Thank you, Svetlana. Dear colleagues, I would like to tell you about the logistics of the Kaliningrad region. It is a interesting topic due to the special location, as my colleague Svetlana outlined already. I would like to remind you that it has no land border with the main Russia and is located between Poland and Lithuania. Therefore, we put a lot of effort to develop the transport system of the region. On the slide, you can see the distance from the Kaliningrad region to major European cities. So please, next slide. Transport infrastructure. The road density in Kaliningrad region is one of the highest in Russia. It's 600 kilometers per square kilometer. The region is also crisscrossed by trans-European automobile transport corridors. It is interesting to mention that Kaliningrad historically has two types of railway track, the narrow gauge, which is a European standard, and wide gauge, which former USSR countries use. Next slide, please. Railways. You may know that China is creating a single trade corridor carrying east-west commodity traffic. Today, there are 4 global projects aiming to create a transport link between Asia Pacific and the countries of Western Europe. And one is passing through the Kaliningrad region and connected the Chinese city of Chongqing, actually from which the largest amount of goods is exported to Europe, with Germany's city of Duisburg. It goes without stops from China to Kaliningrad and takes 10 days on this here. And from Kaliningrad to Germany for 6 days. The price of one 40-feet container is about $4,500 US from China to Kaliningrad, and about $2,700 US from Kaliningrad to China, because it is so subsidized by the government. Next slide, please. We have 2 trans-European highways and 8 border terminals. And as I said, the road density is one of the highest in Russia. Next slide, please. We have several seaports which actually do not freeze in winter, which is, as you know, unique to Russia. One marine terminal is under construction, which will be able to receive large cruise ships, because we are also a touristic region. So the location of the region, together with its special economic regimes, create a favorable conditions to implement an export-oriented projects on the territory of our region. As I already mentioned, goods may be easily transported to Europe, CIS countries, or even to China. But let me provide you with an example of a business model that actually works. Say you put a plant in the Kaliningrad region. You produce from the local Chinese or European components using a cheap labor force. I would say that the average wage in Kaliningrad is about 400 euros per month. You produce using low or even zero taxes and zero import duties and import VAT. Then you export final products either to Europe or to main Russia or former CIS countries. Locating the production in Kaliningrad region gives real economic effects. And there are several examples when European companies make products in the Kaliningrad region and export 100% of them back to Europe. So all in all, I would like to say that the region is beautiful. First of all, it is, you know, the mix of all German heritage with the tender touch of a Soviet architecture. So we invite you to our region and would be very glad to see you as our business partners. Thank you. That's for my part.
Thank you, Svetlana and Alexander, for the interesting presentation. Definitely, Kaliningrad region is offering unique opportunities for any businesses from all over the world. Now we have 3 short presentations from the business representing success stories from the Kaliningrad Oblast. But before we continue, I want to remind all participants that you can ask your questions using questions and answers button on the bottom of the Zoom window. All the speakers will be able to answer your questions after the last presentation. Thank you very much. So our first speaker from the business is Mikhail Gorodkov, Finance Director of Sadruzhestvo. Sadruzhestvo is one of the largest oilseed processing product suppliers in Russia and the main exporter to the former Soviet republics, Northern Europe and Scandinavia. They also exporting grain and other agricultural crops to Europe, North Africa, and other Mediterranean countries.
Thank you very much, Valery. Thank you very much. Good morning, Canada. Good evening, Moscow. So I'm sitting here in front of beautiful Kaliningrad Sea Channel, just 1 kilometer from it, on the soil which was built by Sadruzhestvo 15 years ago. So some 20 years ago, on the place we're sitting was the shore of Kaliningrad Sea Channel. I'll see if I can succeed more than Svetlana in showing my short video about our complex, because if it will be a problem with the sound, we'll look at it, and then I will tell a few words about our complex, which is unique for both Russia and for Europe as well. So I'll show the video. Please, let's look at it. It's quite small and short, and afterwards I will tell a few words about our company.
CERBA Group opens up new horizons worldwide. Today, business connects people, companies, and countries fulfilling great tasks. CERBA is an international diversified agricultural holding, bringing together countries and continents. The largest exporter of agricultural products from Russia and Paraguay, and the largest crusher of non-GMO soybeans in Europe. CERBA's main activities are oilseeds crush and delivery of agricultural products to any destination in the world, using the group's unique logistics facilities and highly developed infrastructure. CERBA is a major operator of river ports in Paraguay. It has 4 owned, strategically positioned river terminals with extensive warehouse capacity and capable of berthing large cargo barges. CERBA owns the 2nd largest deep-water soft commodity terminal in Russia, used for the transshipment of raw materials and finished products for export. The group's capacity, along with its extensive network of agricultural logistics centers, makes it the largest agricultural company in Eastern Europe. The group is the 2nd largest independent operator of agricultural railway cars in Russia. The group's products are always in high demand throughout the world. Strict quality control at every stage of the production, storage, and delivery process guarantees product safety. Investment in the most advanced designs enables the group to produce and bring to market new innovative products. CERBA's production capacity in Russia, Brazil, Belarus, and other countries have made it the largest soybeans crusher in Europe and one of the leading ones in the world. A network of regional trade representatives makes work with clients and partners more effective. The group's global trade center, headquartered in Luxembourg, facilitates and coordinates commercial operations around the world, guaranteeing timely delivery of raw materials and products anywhere on the globe. CERBA Group was founded in 1994 and is now one of the principal players on the world agricultural market, with a turnover counted in billions of dollars. A long-term development strategy, high standards of corporate governance, diversification, and the use of a wide range of solutions for risk management. All of these factors ensure the group's stable financial position and guarantee sustainable future growth. CERBA is the only CIS company dealing in agricultural products of vegetable origin, which employs a full range of risk management solutions, protecting its stable financial position. CERBA brings together people, companies, and countries. We welcome collaboration with leading agricultural companies. We are confident that together we can achieve even better results. CERBA Group, striving for perfection year after year.
Okay, I hope you have heard some words about our company, and I will just say a few words more. So we were the first resident here on the soil of Special Economic Zone in Russia. We've invested during the last 15 years more than $1.2 billion here in our production facilities, infrastructure, rail cars, so on. Now we are the largest Russian exporter of agricultural goods with yearly export of $1.1 billion, with turnover last financial year of over $3 billion US dollars. We have our production sites not only here in Russia, Kaliningrad region, but also in Belarus, in Brazil, and in Turkey, and have also very interesting and very unique infrastructure in Paraguay and Brazil. We are proceeding here soybeans and rapeseed, canola for Canada people, which is more convenient to them as GMO rapeseed, but we are proceeding from normal rapeseed from Russian production, and we are proceeding soybeans from Brazil and Paraguay, and also from Russia. And actually we can ship everywhere in the world using this unique infrastructure position and geographical position of Kaliningrad region, of which we heard from Alexandra a few minutes ago, because we are directly on the Baltic Sea. We have a connection to railway system of Russian Federation, and we can easily say as the first investor in special economic zone that we will give advice to everybody in the world to invest to our region and to take all the advantages it gives to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mikhail. So as far as I know, Mikhail has to leave us shortly, but if you have questions for Mikhail, we will send all of them to Mikhail. I'm sure he will answer questions by email. Please don't forget to provide your email address for replies. Our next presentation from Olga Shesterova, the head of International Trade Department of Ecapet company. Ecapet is the largest polyethylene terephthalate plant in Russia and Europe, and they are the biggest producers of food-grade packaging and various products for industrial and household use. Olga, please, the virtual stage is yours.
Yeah, good evening and good morning, dear partners. Do you hear, do you see me? I'm trying now to cope a little bit with the shareholder. Do you see the presentation on the screen?
Yes, we see.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, first, let me again introduce myself and our company. I'm the head of Foreign Trade Department of joint stock company Ecapet. As you said correctly, our plant is a producer of food granular polyethylene terephthalate used to manufacture a lot of goods like plastic bottles, cans, and food packaging, cosmetic packaging, pet-based painted products, fiber, non-woven fabric, packaging, film, and many other things which are necessary now in our world. Our history starts from 2007, but since 2018, the plant reached its maximum capacity of 690 tons a day. The factory cooperates with the largest world producers of raw materials for PET productions from China, Korea, European Union, US, and many others. So Ecapet is one of some unique plants that operates through the most modern melter racing technology developed by Udo inventor Fischer from Germany. And we are the first European plant that started to use it. So this technology ensures the highest quality of PET chips and grains and has many advantages. The most vivid reduced drying and polymer melt temperature that serves energy costs, low crystallinity degree that ensures transparency of the final product, and decreased acetyl deformation rate that makes the quality of plastic safe for human health, and it's very important nowadays. So we are non-stop production, and the square of 10 hectares is supposed to cover all our needs from water and electricity supply to our own railway and storage place for about, let me just show you a little bit this, for about 6,000 tons. We have our own laboratory. It's also quite unique for productions, equipped by modern facilities that allows us to control the quality of raw materials and our products with each lot. That also allow us to enlarge the range of PET types. For example, we're glad to say that we are announcing now the new product that is the PET with 0.64 viscosity. I suppose the specialists in Canada, for example, who will listen to this webinar will understand what I mean. This PET is suitable for film production, for fiber production, and it means that we can meet demands of more and more plastic connected productions even in Canada and somewhere else. As my colleagues already mentioned, the status of special region economic zone and closeness of Kaliningrad to Europe and main seaports allows us to enlarge the export network, and that's what we are aimed at now. I suppose we are gathered to talk about investments to Kaliningrad region, but a partnership with Canadian, for example, producers is also very important. And now we have planned 10% of export volumes shared between US and European Union mainly. Of course, the larger part belongs to American partners. But Canadian market has, as we know, great advantage as zero import duty for PET from all over the world. And that makes the competition for us rather tough, but we are ready to compete, frankly speaking. Just let me show you something like this. At the moment, we're just starting to study the Canadian market. We see that there are a lot of interest in firms in Quebec and Ontario. Maybe such kind of webinars will help us to introduce our factory and in general Russian companies in Canada. So thank you for invitation and for your attention. Just I forgot that I should come.
Да, все окей. Thank you, Olga. Okay, let's move to our next presentation from the BARS company. Bagrat Miradyan, the Chief Executive Officer of BARS company, is with us today. BARS is the main producer of canned products in Kaliningrad, and they are ready to present themselves to the Canadian business. Good evening, Bagrat. We can start the presentation now.
Hi to everyone. As a matter of introduction, our company, BARS Limited, is a large food manufacturer with more than 20 years history. We own and operate a production plant in Kaliningrad region. It's one of the biggest plants of fish and meat production in this region. Currently, we are producing a vast number of different products, mainly canned products, fish products, meat products, some vegetable assortment. Also, lately, we've established some unique tuna production line, tuna packaging line. It's unique for Russian market. And our company is well positioned in the market, on the Russian market. We export some of our products to CIS countries. And we approve actually that Kaliningrad region is a very good place to, let's say, locate your business and start your expansion for the Russian market, for the CIS countries. A lot of help we get from local government officials with any questions that arise from, you know, different life situations. So, and also the Russian market of just for consumer food products is actually a huge market, and we hold some tangible market share there, and we see our future as a bright and stable way, let's say. This is a couple words about us.
Okay, thank you very much, Bagrat. Also, we have with us today Andrei Verezhnikov. He is Deputy CEO of Aftertour, and you will be able to ask questions if you have. I just want to say that Aftertour Company is a key player in the Russian automotive industry, and more than 2 million vehicles have been assembled since its foundation for global OEMs such as BMW, Kia, Hyundai, and others. So if you have questions, please, you can ask using the questions and answers button. So we have already some questions from the participants. So we have one question from Ankit. How many Canadian companies are currently operational in the region? I think it's a very interesting question, and please, Svetlana, could you answer it?
I have answered actually in chat, but it's just one company, to be honest, and it's Canadian just because the manager of this company, Dave Manger, was born in Canada, so he's Canadian. And this is the only example of Canadian companies operating in the region by now.
Okay, thank you, Svetlana. So, dear participants, you can be the first Canadian company to start your business in Kaliningrad region. And so if you have more questions, please just let me know. And we have here Yuri Manukhov. He is representing Russian Tourist Association here. Maybe he can ask or just introduce himself. He's representing the association here in Canada, and he is very active, I would say proactive in the touristic field. Yuri, are you with us today?
Yes, yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Yuri Manukhov. I represent the Russian Tourism Union in Canada and the United States. I don't see myself. I'm not sure if, like, everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, okay, because I don't see myself, so I was thinking that it's off. So I really appreciate about this opportunity, about this presentation. As I mentioned earlier, Kaliningrad region is
Yuri, you are on mute again.
Excellent, excellent, thank you. So I just want to mention that the region is actually unique in terms of the tourism opportunities, the location, and actually the connection between Poland and Lithuania. Like it's actually create the situation when the country and the region like could be combined with all the neighbors. And I also want to ask the officials who organized this meeting, because in the Rostourism and the Rostur Union, we now discuss the letter to the government to raise about the electronic visas. As you know, there will be the e-visas for foreigners coming to Russia effective January 1st. And as far as I understand, Canada and the United States are not in the preliminary list at the moment. But if the officials of your region could also help us to raise this topic, and it will be very important to create the scenario when the region will get more tourists, because Canadian and Americans, they're actually quite good tourists and could create a good traffic of tourism to the region. So that's just one question to raise. I completely understand that probably I will run the separate presentation about the tourism to Kaliningrad region, because it probably takes like hour even more to explain like all details and all programs and itineraries. But at this moment, I think the question about the topic about the e-visas, which already in place for Kaliningrad for some tourists, but probably to include Canadians next year as well, to the e-visa.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Yuri.
Thank you.
Can we give some words to Andrei Varizhnikov, who is with us from Aftertour?
Okay, Andrei.
Represent himself.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Andrei Varizhnikov, Aftertour Holding Director for Development of New Projects. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to introduce briefly Aftertour Company, one of the largest manufacturers of passenger and commercial vehicles in Russia. Aftertour Company was founded in the year 1994 in Kaliningrad region, and nowadays 4 enterprises belongs to Aftertour, produce 32 models of vehicles in cooperation with the global automotive brands BMW, Kia, Hyundai, both for passenger and commercial vehicles, and Ford cargo trucks. Aftertour production capacity is up to 250,000 vehicles per year in SKD and CKD mode. CKD means welding and painting of car bodies. In fact, Aftertour bodies cover about 15% of the Russian car market. Aftertour provide more than 30,000 jobs, including employment in related enterprises on the territory of Kaliningrad region, as well as the mainland of Russia. From the beginning, as you said, from the start of manufacturing activities to this date, Aftertour has produced more than 2 million vehicles. No doubt that Aftertour play a significant role in the economy of the Kaliningrad region. Just for instance, 44, maybe 45% in the volume of commodity production of manufacturing industries, 36% of sea and rail traffic, container transportation, 39% of taxes and fees paid in the Kaliningrad region. Aftertour is interested in working with potential Canadian partners on localization of automotive components and technologies for own production in Kaliningrad region and for other Russian manufacturing automotive plants. Just briefly, you can find more information on Aftertour Company and its activities at website aftertour.ru. Many thanks for your attention, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Andrei. So I think that we have some questions. So dear participants, please ask your questions, or you can just add your questions to the questions and answers. So I have questions to Alexander about the logistics opportunities for the Canadian companies. What is your opinion? What kind of Canadian company will be interested in this opportunity? I mean, to use Kaliningrad region as a logistic way, a logistic port to connect with, for example, Chinese market or other markets?
Valeria, Alexander is no longer with us, so I suppose I can
okay,
give a short
Svetlana,
answer.
so the question goes to you.
So I believe that mainly is for those companies who are looking for European market, who are producing their goods for European market, because for them it will be much more cheaper to localize their production in our region, because salaries much more less, the other expenses much more less, and you get a lot of benefits and profits. And Europe is just let's say 2-3 hours by car. So I believe it will be very interesting for those companies who are willing to sell their products to European markets. And for example, if they are using raw materials from China, it will be good for them as well, because just 8 days or 10 days, like Alexander said, from China to Kaliningrad straight train route. So I think it's very good to use such opportunities in business development. Thank you.
Thank you, Svetlana. So we have questions from Sergei Buchunov, and you will be able to answer to his question. I think, yeah, you see that question too. Tatiana, maybe you have some questions from the CERBA, from the Canadian Business Association, to our representatives from Kaliningrad region.
Well, yeah, of course, Kaliningrad is a very interesting region from many points of view. Logistics, of course, mineral resources also might be of interest. Something we never mentioned during this presentation, and maybe someone can comment on that. It is stated that all the resources I saw about Kaliningrad region, that it's actually possess up to 90% of all worldwide resources of amber. And I'm just curious how this works, what these reserves are providing to the region and how they are used. Maybe Svetlana can comment on that, or Dennis, or someone from the team. Thank you.
Thank you, Tatiana. Yes, it's true. That's why Kaliningrad region is called Amber region. And there is a plant, amber plant, which produce all the amber, let's say all the amber for Russian Federation and outside Russia. So this plant is located in the town, so-called single industry town. I mentioned that when I said about special benefits. So for such kind of towns where you have just only one plant, we have several programs for loans, for special loans. So if somebody would like to have business there, they have some special opportunities for taking money from banks for special loans with a low percentage and so on and so forth. Because we have such program, as I said, for towns which have just one industry, one plant of industry on the territory of the town. The town is called Yantarny, sorry, Yantarny. It's a single industry town.
Okay, Svetlana, thank you. I have a question to Mikhail Gorodkov from Soдружество. You know, we have here, I mean, in country where we are representing Russian Federation in Canada, a lot of GMO agricultural products, but Russia, the uniqueness of Russia today, that we can provide non-GMO products on the market. So what kind of products could you provide to the Canadian market? What do you think?
I think he's no longer with us as well. Sorry for that.
Okay, so
yeah, I believe
Svetlana, you will be responsible
yes.
to answer that question.
Yes, we have some other companies who are producing products without GMO. So it's called Naturova. And Naturova, yes, is producing the products without such kind of things. Because if we will ask Soдружество is a great company who are doing business not with final products, but with seeds and with crops. And as he said, they're doing oil and stuff like that. So they're not really have final products. You need some other companies such as Naturova, or we have a company who is called just products. So they are the companies you're looking for, and I can give the contact details of these companies further, or here, or after this webinar. So if somebody will be interested in these companies, they can cooperate easily.
Okay, thank you very much, Svetlana. So my next question goes to Andrei Varizhnikov. So I'm just wondering to know about the possibility of establishment of connection, I mean, in terms of supply chain connections between our main vehicle manufacturers, because we see that now, for example, Nokian tires from Russia, they are exporting from Russia to Canada, and Nokian is working with a Russian producer and with their Russian plant to export to supply Canadian market. So do you see any kind of possibilities to establish a connection, I mean, in terms of supply chain development, using your connections with global brands? Thank you.
Yes, in fact, Aftertour have a big experience with cooperation with many global brands. For example, as I said, Hyundai, Kia, BMW. We had experience in cooperation with General Motors for North America, and Korean enterprises, Opel as well. Yes, Aftertour is interested both in localization of components for assembly of Aftertour vehicles on the territory of Kaliningrad region, as well in the export of components which Aftertour produce on the territory of Russia for the other manufacturers outside Russian Federation. We are open for cooperation in these fields.
Okay, thank you. So, you are the right person to contact with. Am I right?
Yes, yes. I'm responsible for development of new projects within Aftertour Holding, because as I said, Aftertour have 4 enterprises on the territory of Kaliningrad region, but I'm an employee of Aftertour Holding company, which cover activities for whole companies manufacturing vehicles on the territory of Russia. You can connect with me directly to discuss all items or issues related to localization or supply chains as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Andrei. Thank you. I don't see any other questions for now.
Valery, I have a question which I would like to ask in respect to the construction industry. I know that we have today a couple of companies who are related to construction industry. One of them is the manufacturer of the very special products. It's a wood-based panels, acoustic panels for infrastructural projects, such as big places as airports, railway stations, libraries, educational institutions, concert halls, and so on and so forth. This is a product which is very widely used right now in all the advanced infrastructural projects. And my question to the government of Kaliningrad region, if your region is actually developing any of those projects, and if this is so, what kind of projects are they, and how we can talk to you about participation of Canadian companies. Thank you.
Thank you, Tatiana, for your question. Honestly, any kind of companies are welcome, even construction companies are welcome as well. So I think we have met once with the representative of this company you're talking about, the producer of special wood panels. And we try to describe our region and all what we can propose to the representative of the company. I believe it was a general manager. So if he will have any further question, we're open to answer, or if he would like to visit the region, we will be glad to arrange this visit.
Yes, and Svetlana, thank you. And I think now it is, well, I have appropriate question about your current situation with COVID pandemics. I mean, do you have still restrictions for their foreigners to stay for 14 days at home? I mean, for quarantine?
Yes, we still have some restrictions. The countries are opening just one by one. Not all companies are opened to visit for Russians, and the same vice versa. Not all the people are allowed to come to Russia now, but we're looking forward that this situation will be shortly overcome, and we will manage with that shortly.
Yeah, okay. I hope that we will be able to meet again offline shortly after that situation with pandemic, and we will start our business travel all over the world. I'm sure that the Canadian companies will be glad to meet with you personally and visit Kaliningradsk Oblast. I think this is a very interesting region to visit and to work with. Dear participants, do you have any questions to our host region from the host Russian region? So if we don't have any questions for now, I think the floor goes to Svetlana just to say final words about the presentation, about the region. And we are going to work with Canadian companies and with all participants to continue our negotiations. We've started a few months ago, for example, with Geometric, for example, and we are looking forward to see Kaliningrad region representatives here in Canada. And I'm sure that after the pandemic situation, the Canadian companies representatives will be able to visit Kaliningrad as myself. So please, Svetlana.
Thank you, Valery. I would like to thank everybody. Tatiana, thank you a lot for your organization. Valery, thank you for your participation, and all the colleagues from Kaliningrad region. My thank you to you, because you are really professional, and I think without you, this webinar won't be full. So thank you very much. And what else? I would like to say one word to Yuri because he mentioned tourism, and maybe he would like to have one separate webinar just about the touristic opportunities and maybe some new touristic ways and stuff like that. So this is the only my propose to Yuri to have separate webinar if he would like. So thank you everybody for your time. Thanks a lot, and welcome to our region. Well, you are welcome.
Yes, Svetlana, it's a very good idea to organize another video seminar with Yuri Menehov to speak about the tourist potential of the region. I know that there are few regions in Russia with such a huge tourist potential, like in Kaliningrad. So Moscow, St. Petersburg, and Kaliningrad in the front, I think, and Tatarstan maybe on the front page of every tourist flyer from Russia. So, and I think for today it's one of the regions you must visit to understand what is Russia is and what kind of tourist potential we can discover in our country. So we should work together with Yuri. Yuri will contact you later. So dear participants, thank you very much. Tatiana, do you have something to add? Maybe.
Again, thank you everyone, all the people from Russia. I know that it's probably quite late on your side now, and thank you for your time that you dedicated it after your work hours. We are going to connect with you. There are some questions which probably need some continuation in the discussion. I will be in touch with you on that questions. There are opportunities for many companies in Kaliningrad region, with no matter if this is just transportation or production or something else like mining and mineral industry. So let's work together. You are very interesting for many of our members. I may be in touch with you also regarding the cooperation in such sectors like as education, because I saw a few educational institutions participated in this webinar as well. So for the Canadian participants, I would like to thank you for your time as well. And any materials that were shown or discussed today at this webinar, it will be available for you. Please get in touch with me. You all have my contact information to get these materials. And the record, the video record of this webinar will also be available. We usually download it on YouTube. It will be available as soon as we are able to do that. And I'll send an invitation for everyone who participated today to see this video record. Thank you again. And I give it back to Valery for the last few words. And CERBA is also always at your disposal to help you with your businesses.
Thank you very much, Tatiana. Thank you, Kaliningradskaya Oblast. Thank you, Svetlana. Thank you, all participants. The Russian Trade Mission here in Canada is responsible for the trade and economic relation development between our countries, and we are ready to work with you, to continue to work with you, and all the project which comes from your region, from Russia. We are working with the Russian Export Center. We are part of Ministry of Industry and Trade of the Russian Federation, and we're representing Ministry and the Russian Federation here in Canada. So we are ready to work both with Canadian and Russian companies to establish links between you, and it is our key task for today to develop our trade and economic relations. And also we are working with Russian regions to establish direct connections in terms of localization of their production in the Russian regions. So this is another option how we can work together. And Russian Trade Mission also, we have, as a Russian Trade Mission, we have very good connections with all of Russian regions. So feel free to contact Russian Trade Mission in order to establish those contacts. And also we are working with CERBA directly with all chapters of CERBA, and thank you our friends and colleagues from CERBA, Tatiana, for the continuous support of our trade and economic relations. And I do hope that we will work together. We will continue to work together, and we are looking forward to get final results and agreements and between our Russian and Canadian counterparts. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we are adjourned. Thank you, and see you next time at our other events. Goodbye.